Yeah, fuck you, Frank. At least I didn't change it. I'm here. Now, I didn't take no poo. I don't know what's up with you and taking poos. That's what I thought. Get your ass up here. You there? Frank.
Yeah.
I was just a little bit late, so hush.
Oh, yeah. I'll be on time. Watch this. I'm going to be on time. I'm going to be on time. I am. I'm going to be on time.
Oh my god. At least I'm here. You probably thought I would kick it out more.
What?
You probably thought I would change it.
I reckon you come late on time. Jaded, after my last comment, I genuinely thought he was going to say something else then.
So what are you doing?
We've been waiting for you. We've been rioting and everything. This motherfucker just won't leave.
Who?
No one. No, I didn't look.
You're over there with them fucking snake people, aren't you?
Well, you was on about painting your bathroom wall, and then I said, like you, and then I was like, oh no.
I'm gonna get you. We ain't monetized over here.
Blue Wing. What are you talking about? You ain't monitor. Oh, yeah, you know.
I'm not monetized over here.
So that means we're not getting paid for this. So let's have a party. Let me just get my bottle of water and get this party started. Boobs on screen.
What?
Boobs on screen. Oh, do you know? Because we could get the murder weapon out.
No, we can't.
Oh.
No. Party time, JJ. We gonna party up in here? Yeah, I ain't monetized.
So what are we supposed to?
What?
When are we supposed to? Never mind.
What?
Nothing.
Tell me,
No. I did all that
Frank.
research to get that murder weapon, and we can't even use it.
Fuck that murder weapon.
You cannot. I want to.
Shut up.
She's going to be doing her own video on it, Little Wing, she says. Husband went sledging again, so I get to chill. Oh, okay.
We're just really watching some old stuff because I just want to get more information on all this for myself. Winnie!
Tammy Ayo's found us. I thought switching channels would have got us away from her, but you know.
Just 60 minutes strike people.
60 Minutes Australia. I wouldn't
Yeah,
go there because it's a big thing over there, and it so I
I
wouldn't even
know.
chance.
I know. That's why I'm asking.
And that's why I'm telling you.
Because a lot of them don't care. Like News Nation, they don't care.
Oh,
Law and
Tammy's
Crime,
married.
they don't care.
Talking. Tammy's
Go
married
ahead.
to Rick. So she's married to an old man.
Who's married to an old man?
Tammy Ayo.
You need to get you a youngin', Tammy. Why are you changing my background on me?
I was still a little play.
You like to play?
Yeah. Trying to get me socks off.
All
What?
right, we're gonna watch some Epstein here.
Epstein.
Yeah, no, I probably say it different, but that's the way I can say it, so I don't give no fucks. I speak hillbilly,
Beep, 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 beep.
just like you speak your language.
This motherfucker.
Pretty crazy to think that there are all these people, according to her, helping Ghislaine behind the scenes right now. Powerful people, a lot of jaw-dropping claims made there. I want to bring in two other people who know a lot about the Epstein case. Joshua Schiffer is a criminal attorney. His law firm represented one of Epstein's victims, and Hillary Fordwich is a British Royals commentator. Josh, I want to start with you. You just heard my interview with Christina Oxenberg. She talks about the other men, the powerful men who may be outed in all of this. But one thing she told me that wasn't included in that clip is she said she believes that those men, for the most part, may have had sex with girls who were not underage, girls who may have been 19 or 20 years old. If they were right over the legal limit, will that protect them moving forward?
No, not necessarily, because there's a variety of other laws that actually criminalize moving people across state lines and around the country for immoral and indecent purposes. It goes back as far as the Mann Act in 19.
Okay, what's up with these fucking glasses? I'm sorry, but what is that shit?
10 in the United States, which was originally titled the White Slave Act, but has now been expanded to pretty much cover anyone that is moving a woman across state lines, and the U.S. Virgin Islands would fall into that jurisdiction for immoral or indecent purposes. And it's a great catch-all law. Juries respond to it really well. The Department of Justice uses it extensively, and it absolutely would apply to people being involved in an organization involving bringing these women to a private island to have sex with them, regardless of their age.
That may explain why many of these men might be nervous tonight. Hillary, I want to ask you, you heard Christina Oxenberg suggest, and this really blew my mind, that there is a deal in the background, she believes, with powerful people who have told Ghislaine if she stays quiet, they will get her out of the United States, get her transferred back to the UK, where she'll be in some kind of luxury prison there and eventually get out. Do you think that's really possible, Hillary?
Well, Brian, right now, of course, that's speculation, but anything is possible. And it begs the question for anybody, why has she remained quiet? She has not divulged any specifics or any details. And yes, she does have those tapes. We know that. I think what's very interesting, though, to consider is that Lady Victoria Hervey, she is a former girlfriend of Prince Andrew. She has been on air claiming Prince Andrew's absolute innocence and saying that the photographer who took the photograph, the now infamous photograph of Prince Andrew with Virginia Giuffre in that apartment building with, you're showing it now with Ghislaine Maxwell in the background, that was a very badly photoshopped photograph. Of course, Prince Andrew couldn't come out and defend himself. So the question also becomes, why on earth did Prince Andrew settle for those nearly $12 million with Virginia Giuffre? Of course, in a jubilee, of course, for his mother. Again, speculation, but yes, you're absolutely right. There are very many powerful men, powerful and rich beyond any comprehension, that absolutely don't want anything out there, and they can pull all sorts of international strings.
Josh, Christina was very clear with me. She thinks if she had already started talking, if Ghislaine had spoken and given the names, that she would be dead by now. She thinks the only reason Ghislaine is alive is because she stayed quiet. What do you think about that, Josh?
It's absolutely reasonable. We're not talking about normal people. When you get to the levels of power and influence, the whole world changes when you get up in this stratospheric level. And that's why everything still is on the table. Would anybody else be considered for an international, basically prisoner exchange with one of our favorite international allies, the UK? No, not in a million years, but it's absolutely possible for some of her support team to set this up as basically a political prosecution, especially consider the people involved. And that is exactly how governments get together, make some sausage in the back room, split Solomon's baby, and people get freed, moved, changed. Situations are always amenable if there's enough political will and power behind the movement? That's the real question. We all have strong suspicions and knowledge about the Epstein 8. There's also additional people that I believe are undisclosed. She holds, that being Ghislaine, immense power to affect her current sentence of 20 years by offering to share or use that information. And she could be biding her time until this theoretical promise of transfer materializes. But as soon as she gives up those names, she gives up her power. And then she's no good to anyone. So she has one more big shot. She's going to make the most of it.
And Christina made the point to me today, look, this is in the headlines now. Everyone's talking about it. She said, you just watch. A year or two from now, when it's out of the headlines, it's going to be secret, and Ghislaine is going to end up in the UK. Hillary, how will people in Britain feel about this? What do they think about Ghislaine? What will they think if she suddenly shows up there?
Well, Brian, no one can speak for the entire nation of Great Britain at all, but I will speculate. Obviously, I'll give you some facts on this. With regard to Prince Andrew, the city of York, there was a movement to remove his keys to the city. They don't even want him using that title anymore, Duke of York. So I think that gives you an indication. Also, Prince Andrew used to be within the top 10 in terms of popularity, and a YouGov poll has him at the very bottom. So with that poll and the people of the city of York, I think you've got two data points there. Also, the royal family tends not to, unlike him, have bad judgment, and the good judgment was to make sure that he didn't appear at any of the Jubilee events. He was not on the balcony. He was not at St. Paul's Cathedral. He was absent from everything to do with the Queen's Jubilee. And that was because, of course, they want to keep him out of the spotlight.
Josh, let me ask you, we hear about these secret tapes that Ghislaine and Jeffrey were recording these powerful men on the plane, audio and video, and that these recordings have been duplicated and exist. Would those be admissible in court? What do you think about these recordings, Josh?
Oh, absolutely. As long as, especially in civil court, the government is often in criminal court allowed to use discovery or discoverable information that it obtained through otherwise illegitimate means, or they were created through illegitimate means, as long as the government acquired them legitimately. Same in the civil arena for lawsuits for damages. You're allowed to bring in all kinds of evidence. You still have to prove its validity, where it comes from, but it's not about the admissibility as much as the weight that a jury will place on it. And juries adore audio and videotapes. That would be the most effective evidence that anyone could produce, and it's plenty to basically threaten any of these prominent individuals to use all of their powers to make this case go away. And we're really seeing some of the heat get turned up under their rear ends. These are people worth billions. Their mere words can shake the earth. Any disruption with something like this, it affects thousands, if not millions of people and markets around the world. There's a giant impetus.
Crazy to think about. This impacts people at the highest levels of government and business. And if Christina Oxenberg is right, this is going to take some wild turns in the months and years ahead. We'll stay on it. Josh?
That was like 7 months ago, this video. Was that picture photoshopped? I don't know. Damn cat. Cats are
Okay.
demanding too. What?
So, on it being photoshopped, Prince Andrew, I don't know if you've seen it, he did an interview with the BBC where, I think it was a BBC, I could be wrong, where it was aired across Britain, and he talked about that photo, and one of the obscure things that he said was that the photo was photoshopped. Now, we already know it wasn't photoshopped because Virginia gave the original photo to someone.
It's real? It's real?
Yeah, of Virginia and Andrew.
Well, Ghislaine or whatever the fuck her name is in the background.
Huh?
That has that chick in the background.
Virginia. It's got Virginia and Ghislaine's in the background.
Yes.
And Andrew's got a... Yeah, they said... He claimed that it was Photoshop, but Virginia gave it, and it was a Polaroid picture. So they said for it to be Photoshopped onto that's next to impossible. And it was... I think it was in the 90s when this picture surfaced. So... You get me?
Yeah.
You get me?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm gonna see here.
Jay, he said it, but he also said that he was at Pizza Express on the day that it happened, having a party with his daughter, who, by the way, looks like a man. I'm joking. She does look strange, though. They all look strange. Hmm. And he also said that he couldn't sweat due to the Falklands War. And they showed a picture of him not long after the Falklands War, and he's drenched in sweat. It's a good interview. The Princess of Wales, Kate. Yeah, I keep forgetting they've changed now. All changed titles. Oh, the Grand Old Duke of York, he had 12 million quid, and he gave it away for something he never did. I don't think he's got a title anymore. I think his titles were stripped by the Queen, and he was told to take a step back from royal duties. Because I know he was trying and trying and trying to get back into his royal duties, but Charles said, no, when I come to power, no, you
Hey,
take a step back. Yeah.
I'm surprised you could hear me.
Why?
I just want to see if you could hear me. Hold on, I gotta mute.
Okay. Ruin my trailer thought. Come in, mess about. I don't know.
Just because I'm muted
Yeah,
don't mean I'm not watching, so.
okay. So Harry and Meghan have been pulled. I think it's just the media still address them as that. But there was something about them leaving the UK meant they had to relinquish the titles, and it was something they wanted to do anyway. So, but yeah, I agree with that. Fucking vile. Imagine your nan's as ill as the Queen was, and you go around making stories up like that. It's just disgusting. Um, yeah.
Yeah, what?
I was just saying, yeah.
Yeah.
Megan still used the one who claimed that they should give them more. Sod them anyway. They're nothing to do with Epstein, I don't think. Unless Harry's got secrets. I
You got secrets.
haven't. Are you trying to say that I'm involved with Epstein? The hell, man. Correct. Oh, wrong one. Correct. Mm-mm. Okay. What you're saying is true about the last name, but Elizabeth went by her original last name, which was Regina. If you Google Elizabeth Regina, it'll come up the Queen. You love Kate, hate Meghan. Okay. Morgan. Kate does what she's told. That's why everyone loves Kate, because she looks like the perfect example, but they live a horrible life. Imagine she can't, like, walk down the streets like we can and things like that. Imagine your life like that. You gotta give her a lot of respect for doing that. She just gave up her life, her children's life as well, essentially. But yeah, as to the name change, I'm not sure 100% about that, but I know that Elizabeth's last name was Regina, and if you Google Elizabeth Regina, it'll come up the Queen. But I know that she did change it to Windsor, but I'm sure that's something to do with the House of Windsor, the castle. The Queen shouldn't have been the Queen. Well, actually, technically she would have been, because the heir to the throne when her dad come to the throne was he give up so he could marry, in their eyes, a prostitute, someone who, a divorcee. Is it just me? Yeah. Okay. Wallace. What about Wallace Wacky? Wallace and Gromit. Is that what you're on about? That was that lady's name. Wallace. Have I missed something? Anyway, we're not talking about the royal family. So back to Epstein then. Oh, Epstein. Prince Andrew claimed that he never knew him. He just met him once, and then in that interview, they says, "Well, why did you have a meeting with him?" Not long after. Oh, okay, I'm with you. He wasn't king. He advocated, but I think the middle child become king, not him, and he advocated as well. But anyway, they caught him out because he had a meeting with Epstein, and basically to tell him that they could no longer be friends, according to Andrew. He said it was to say that they could no longer be friends and no longer do business together. But it was proven wrong. As Beady Rassois. He doesn't look like Charles, does he? Doesn't look like Charles. Or his dad. His dad, Philip. Pip. The heir to the Greece throne.
I'm still here, Jade. I have to pause every now and then for a minute. It gets really fucking loud in here. Sorry.
Epstein always gave me weird videos. What? Wait. Epstein always gave you weird videos. What the hell?
Now you're gonna give Truly hell.
Read the comments. Epstein always gave me weird videos. What the hell? Oh, she's covering up now. She's saying vibes.
What's really going on, truly?
Yeah, truly. No way. Who'd have thought a member of your community?
I know, my very own truly at that.
She even knew that he lived in Florida. How about that?
I know. Is that why you moved to Florida, truly? Now the truth's coming out. Truly's a truth.
Julie Epstein. It makes sense. We would all be rich.
Yeah, we would. All right.
Oh.
That's
Okay.
something where they talk
Let's
about.
get started.
What are we going to watch first?
None of Truly's videos. I'm telling you that now. If Truly sent you a link in email, get rid of it. In fact, just burn your laptop.
You want to hear Prince Andrew talk about it? Well, that's like an hour long. Fuck that.
Yeah, that's 40 minutes. It's a really good interview though, if you're into this sort of stuff. You watch him squirm. The interviewer.
You
I
want
think
to
it's on
watch
the
it?
BBC. I wouldn't.
It is.
I don't know if it's on the
That's
BBC.
what I
That's
see
right.
it on.
Yeah, the
Strike.
BBC will strike. Yeah,
That's where
yeah,
I see
but I
it.
do recommend. I do recommend watching it. So I'd put that in the description at the end of the video, so people can
Why
watch
don't
it.
you do
'Cause
that
it's
for
really,
me?
huh? I can't put it in your description for you know.
Yeah, you
You
can.
have to. Do it. I can't.
Yes, you can.
Let me look. Right there.
If not, I'll give you powers so you can do that.
What? How can? No, I don't think you can. Oh, the ground
Will.
He had 12 million quid, and he gave it away for something he never did.
What?
No, I can't. I can't make you this.
All right, here, we're going to play this. I'm just going to get into it.
Yeah.
Details in a U.S. Virgin Islands lawsuit against megabank JP Morgan have revealed convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein repeatedly emailed photos of women to his banker, longtime JP Morgan Chase executive Jess Staley, between 2008 and 2012. The two exchanged numerous emails and images during that time frame. They included photos of women in suggestive poses and Staley's praise for Epstein, according to the new court filings. One message from Staley to Epstein even read, "I owe you much."
Here's attorney Tamara Holder DeMaio on News Nation's Morning in America. Let's watch that.
It appears as if there was potentially a conspiracy going on between Jeffrey Epstein and JP Morgan Chase. They were in charge of monitoring his accounts. And instead you have, well, the government alleges, of course, because it hasn't been proven, but the government alleges that JP Morgan engaged in cover-up tactics and did things to make sure that Jeffrey Epstein was able to continue abusing women. The allegations say that over 20 women were paid through JP Morgan accounts. So I think there's a big problem here because the U.S. government, when they come to you, they already have their case. Their success rate is like 99.9%. So they took a lot of time to go through all of the financial records, to speak to witnesses before they filed this complaint.
So to take just a step back, remember the core lawsuit that we covered some weeks ago is based on the idea that the U.S. Virgin Islands is accusing JP Morgan of basically turning a blind eye to all of the sex rings, sex trafficking, all of that, so they can continue to profit from Jeffrey Epstein using their bank for all of his accounts. And so what has now happened is that there's some parts of the filing that have been unredacted and a new memoranda that has given us some of these more details about the involvement of this particular JP Morgan executive who seems to have had actually a pretty close relationship with Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, a lot of texting pictures of pretty ladies, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, so we've read a part of this quote. Yeah, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Which is from, and again, this is from the period where he's already facing charges for sexual misconduct involving minors.
Yeah.
Again, it's not, you can't say, well, he didn't know, he just, whatever, would have struck up a friendship with this affable, very easy to infiltrate his way into elite networks guy. This is at the point in which it is public information that he's being put on under house arrest and an ankle monitor for inappropriate contact with minors.
Yeah.
And you're still sexting with him?
Yeah, there's no plausible deniability.
Don't do that.
Yeah, here's what Staley said to Epstein in a November 29 email. He says, presently, I'm in the hot tub with a glass of wine. This is an amazing place, the U.S. Virgin Islands, presumably. Truly amazing. Next time we're here together, I owe you so much, and I deeply appreciate our friendship. I have few so profound. So any allegation that this is just like a passing friendship, that this is, I mean, the emails really tell a very different story. Moreover, apparently they were communicating to each other about young women using code names of Disney princesses.
I mean, is there, I ask this question because it could matter for whether there would be charges against this individual, right? Is there evidence that, I mean, is the pictures he's sharing, are they of underage women?
It's not clear.
They're talking about young women, but not underage?
Yeah, it's not clear.
Because he's not, no one has suggested yet, right, that he should face any kind of penalty.
And this is, it's unclear how much this is, bolstering the fundamental underlying financial case, which is that at least 20 victims of Epstein were paid more than $1 million collectively through JP Morgan accounts between 2003 and 2013. Moreover,
business either way.
Right. Well, I mean, that's yeah. They basically had that feeling and turned a blind eye. Maybe in the case of this executive, potentially were endorsing some level of this based on the nature of their correspondence. Moreover, the filing alleges that, this is all from the Daily Beast piece on this, the filing alleges that Epstein withdrew more than $775,000 in cash during that time period. And records show that his JP Morgan accounts wired nearly $1.5 million to known recruiters, including the MC2 modeling agency, and another to $150,000 to a private investigative firm. So using JP Morgan to direct funds to the groups that were procuring underage women for him and his exploits. Again, seemingly with some level of knowledge of the nature of the transactions based on the interactions with this one executive at the very least.
In December 2009, Staley sent another alleged missive to Epstein. I realized the danger in sending this email, but it was great to be able today to give you in New York City a long, heartfelt hug. Epstein replied the next day saying, you were with Larry and I had to put up with, and included a photo of a young woman. Don't tell me, a French wine, Staley wrote.
Yeah, lawyers love it when you say, I know I should be writing this email, but I'm going to write it anyway. Your lawyer loves it when you have the self-awareness to know that you're about to do something deeply incriminating.
Well, he was correct. Anyway. There was danger and he should not have sent it.
Yeah, I mean, this is I think it's such an interesting story because I think that some folks felt like when Epstein died, that it would lead to a kind of a lack of accountability for the broader networks of people that basically enabled him to commit these kinds of crimes. And Ghislaine Maxwell is, one, but people who, the broader argument that people with a lot of wealth and power are able to avoid any consequences for this kind of behavior, including the financial institutions that service it, and including people, as we discussed, I think it was yesterday, Bill Gates and Bill Clinton, who have been tied to Epstein.
These texts are really incriminating. So he says, Staley says, say hi to Snow White for me. And Epstein says, what character would you like next? Then he says, Beauty and the Beast. Well, one side is available. That sounds like they're talking about underage girls, for sure, and that he's a participant. That's what it sounds like.
Certainly what it sounds like to me. I mean, using Disney characters, most of which are children and certainly are supposed to appeal to children. Ariel's 16. I don't know if they actually say on camera how old Beauty's supposed to be, but she definitely lives at home with her dad.
Yeah, this is some gross stuff. Gross.
Yeah.
What else is there to say? Not good.
Yeah, I'm glad that this is getting reported out. I think that this lawsuit is probably satisfying a lot of that need I was talking about before. People feel like there was actually some broader accountability beyond just the one man here. So yeah, interested to see where this goes, and we'll have more Rising for you after this.
That Beauty and the Beast one side, that's kind of creepy to hear that. This is.
Hey, let's hold us to him.
What, baby?
Oh, God. Jaded. Genuinely think she's behind.
Is anybody even still here?
Yeah, but I think Jaded's genuinely behind.
Who's still here? Jaded and Truly? Yeah, I need to hold on a second. Let me log into that channel on my phone.
What?
I gotta log in on this phone, on my phone, into my backup channel here.
Can't you just, you know, like on your phone, can't you just press your button in the corner, your face in the corner, and it switches channels?
Oh, hey, Squid. Wacky. I'm way behind. Epstein pissed you off. I'm sorry, Squid.
Yeah, truly says Wacky easier. How do you know?
Truly knows everything.
She must have videos of Wacky. You better be good to Truly, Wacky, otherwise she's going to expose your videos of you cooking dinner.
We're going to do an expose. Let me see here. Here's one of the survivors, Sarah Ransom. It's on Long Crime Network.
Oh, we haven't watched one of them for a while.
No, we haven't.
Crowd lord and crime.
See, she is here. Truly was right. See? Paint them nails, Truly. Hi, Louie. Okay, I got to speed up.
It's something that I have worked very, very, very hard for the last 6 years. So that, I think my statement was about 4 or 5 minutes, was the fight that I have done, the highs, the lows, the litigation. It was all worth it just to have those 3 minutes looking at Ghislaine, saying what I needed to say to her.
Did you hope that maybe she would somehow, I don't know, respond, react, anything?
I was hoping that as a human being, she would have felt something. She would have at least acknowledged or looked, or but there was none of that. And that doesn't matter for me. The thing for me, the memory I'll take away from today that I will never forget until the rest of my, well, for the rest of my life, was hearing Ghislaine walk into court with the chains. And that was a very somber but liberating moment for me, because there's no more games. I just heard the clinking, clink, clink, clink of chains.
Yeah, that's real.
That's real. That's reality. And, you know, I'm disappointed. I don't feel that Ghislaine took accountability and responsibility really for the victims. I think that was her addressing the victims was a bit of a sham, saying, I'm sorry. I have a particular issue with saying I'm sorry, because not at one point when I was being raped every single day, sometimes for 3 times a day, when Ghislaine herself, by her own hand, forced me into Jeffrey Epstein's room to be raped, did she say, I'm sorry? I've spent the last 17 years trying to get some form of justice, trying to put together a life for myself. And I haven't been able to do that until today.
When you were wrapping up your comments, you felt it was heartfelt, these words that you carefully crafted, but they're from the heart.
Yeah.
Do you feel your message was received?
I know Ghislaine knew exactly who I was when I was standing up, giving my statement. And although she didn't acknowledge me, she knew exactly my words before her. And addressing Ghislaine for the first time in 17 years, is a moment I'll never forget, ever.
And you were 10 feet away from her. Was there?
And her family, you know, I found it very difficult with her whole entourage family being there, you know, especially after her very own family have victim shamed victims and try to discredit them. And this has been a very complicated legal case. And I don't think any victim should ever have to go through what I've gone through or what any Epstein survivor has gone through. It should never have been this hard.
It was like be victimized again and again after the fact.
Well, it's like being raped again by the system. That's exactly what it was. We were raped by Jeffrey and Ghislaine, and the system raped us again. And, you know, technically, if the FBI and the governmental institutions listened to Maria Farm in 1996, I wouldn't have been raped. Liz Stein, the other survivor, I was 10 years old when she was being trafficked. I was 10. I'm now 37. I was 10 when she was being raped. Now at 37, I'm turning 38 in August. Why has it taken this long to get one conviction? And who is responsible behind that? Who are the people covering for these traffickers? Because this was an international sex trafficking ring that trafficked hundreds of children and young women into the thousands. One arrest is, I guess I'll take the scraps that I'm given, if that's what you call it, if that's what you call justice, a bit of scraps like a dog. But, you know, I'll take whatever scraps of justice I can get. But this isn't justice today.
That was my next question. 20 years was maybe a skosh more than expected, not an outrageous amount. And I think most of it, any add-on was because what you heard from Elaine was not remorse. It was not apology. It was more, hey, I'm a victim too, which I want to get into. But you think that the 20 years, not really justice?
I think Elaine got that amount of time because of her age. You know, let's not forget Elaine has turned 60, I think, on the 25th of December, 2021. Elaine won't see sunshine again. She won't hear the laughter, thank God, of children. Thank God. She'll never be able to walk in a field with flowers. She'll never be able to hear the sea again. She'll never be able to touch beach sand. So 20 years, Ghislaine won't last 20 years. You and I both know that. And I think the most difficult thing I've found more than anything, no matter what Ghislaine has done to me, I don't wish her harm because I'm not like her. I don't want Ghislaine to be raped. I don't want Ghislaine to be hurt because I'm not her. And I hope she, I hope she finds some form of solace or comfort for her retirement years. Because I don't wish pain upon any other human being, no matter what they've done to me. And that's the difference between Ghislaine and I, because I can't hurt another human being. So it's sad. And it's really sad that she felt that I wasn't worth anything. And I'm sad that she'll never see the beach or the sea again because of her actions. And it's something I'll never be able to understand. I'm sorry.
Take more.
Thank you. Sorry. Sorry. Sorry, I forgot Panda. Okay. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm really glad it's you. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay, just two more questions. One about the United States, because you're sitting there, as I'm sure most, not sure whether she's going to say anything or not, just have to. And all along in this process, she's been pretty closed-mouthed and defiant and pretty much annoyed with the system that has treated her so badly. Right? I've heard some of the complaints about how she's been treated in jail. But made you think, well, she's probably got enough to say. Just give me the sentence, let me get on with it. Were you surprised when she spoke?
I almost fell off the chair, actually. Liz and I looked at each other and we couldn't believe it. I'm still trying to make sense of it. But again, you can say as many sorries as you want, but I was raped because of you. I was degraded. I was humiliated. I was coerced. I was starved. Ghislaine, words fall on empty ears. I can say whatever words I want, but I've always been taught that actions speak louder than words.
And so she may have used the word sorry, but the way she phrased everything was very deliberate. You can tell.
Absolutely.
I acknowledge what everybody's been through. Jeffrey Epstein's a manipulator. I'm sorry for what you went through. Not I'm sorry for whatever role I played. I'm sorry that you had to go through this. It's almost like she wanted you to think, well, yeah, I'm just a victim like you folks.
Yeah, well, I mean, of course. I mean, that's carefully crafted by her lawyers so she can have an appeal. So, I mean, that was strategic by her defense lawyers. I know that. You know that. Ghislaine has no remorse whatsoever. But, put on a little, I'm sorry for, that was for the next stage when they appeal. I think they thought her defense team, very clever, by the way, very clever. If you do something wrong, you want to hire those guys. She had no remorse in her voice. Ghislaine has no soul. And you know yourself what I've been through trying to take her down. And the reason why I've had to go through that is because she's a dangerous human being. She will reoffend, and reoffend. These people never stop, ever. And I guess when I came out of court, I was so shell-shocked. I was being interviewed, and now, that was a strategic move by her lawyers to gain sympathy. Ghislaine feels nothing for us.
I think if that was the plan, it sort of backfired, because I think the judge tacked on just a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. I have to say, I have the utmost respect for Judge Nathan, and she did pick up on that. And I think her comments afterwards, she picked up that Ghislaine has no remorse, not once. But
if you're a sociopath, you would never even understand how what you're saying could possibly make your situation worse. You wouldn't comprehend that.
Well, I mean, a psychopath doesn't rape thousands of young women and children. So, and teach a 14-year-old how to touch a middle-aged man's penis. So, and enjoyed it. So Ghislaine, as far as I'm concerned, has only one friend left, which is the one in prison that wrote that lovely note for her. And she can go make some new friends.
Let's talk about you real quick. One last question. Now that this has lifted to whatever degree it can be lifted, what's the future?
So the future for me, as of today is groundbreaking for me, because I've not been able to emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically been able to move on since today. And I'm actually going to be studying to learn how to coach other survivors. And I'm going to be doing some voluntary work with rape survivors, with a charity I've chosen to work with in my spare time, be a first responder for rape victims at email, phone. And I guess it's a bittersweet ending for me, because I've gone through that. I've gone through something that I wouldn't even wish on Ghislaine. I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. And I hope that lessons have been learned, and I hope that I've gained enough experience where I can be there for any other woman, survivor. I really want to make it very clear, rape isn't just about women. It's gender neutral. It's class neutral. It's race neutral. Rape is rape. So I'm going to be dedicating my life to help those survivors.
That's very insightful and very generous.
Thank you.
Sharing this horrible number of events and something that might help somebody else.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, I was 14 years old. Like, what the hell do you know when you're that young?
Jennifer. Okay, we'll play that one next. Another victim. I know they're kind of heartbreaking, but it's good to hear them.
The only thing I ask, don't share nothing from Virginia Giuffre. So I don't see her as a victim. I see her as a younger Maxwell.
Is this who this is?
No, Virginia Giuffre. She made millions and millions and millions, and she nearly messed up. She messed up a lot of victims' cases in the past. Through her, basically, they think she rigged stories. It's like with the Maxwell thing. They kept her away from it because her age didn't add up, as in she was saying it happened like this and like that, and then the prosecution said we want nothing to do with her, as in they don't want to use her. But she's made the most. She's just basically for years been milking the Epstein train for millions and millions, and other victims have come forward and told their stories, and when it's gone to court, something Virginia said has messed up their case. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there was a document that come out. Squids has probably got it if Squids is still about. I did have it. It's a PDF, and it's basically an agreement between Virginia and Epstein, where she got millions and millions of dollars, and she weren't allowed to sue no one again. And that's why the Prince Andrew thing. That's why there was all the big kerfuffle with that. But the only people that was allowed to know the names in the document was Epstein and a judge that dealt with any cases. And
Hey, Be
she said
Good.
that he weren't on that. You haven't seen it. What's the document? I'll tell you what it was. I'll find it, and I'll pass it on to Cotton, and she can pass it on to you guys. But yeah, it's an agreement between the two. Basically, I don't know where it come from, but I can't even explain it. You know, my phone's going wild. But yeah, I'll find it PDF. It come out. I think it was just before he killed himself, or just after, and it showed you just how evil that Virginia was. I don't like her. Everything's about money with her. She didn't want justice. It's all about money. She tried to turn the Maxwell thing into about money, and that's when they pulled Virginia from the case.
Look at my
Go
little
on, play
smarty pants.
this. Play this.
Rose grew up in New York with dreams of becoming a Broadway actress. She was thrilled when she was accepted to a performing arts high school in the city. And it was outside that school back in 2001, she says, a woman first approached her.
She was definitely trying to get to know me, trying to find out, where I was from, where I grew up, who I lived with.
Rose says the woman kept showing up, talking to her, sometimes offering to buy her lunch or a soda.
The first time she brought up the name Jeffrey Epstein, how did she describe him to you?
He was just a great guy. He's just saying, he's helped me. I've struggled. She was similar to me.
Did she say he could help you with your career?
That was a big part of it.
And when you think of her now, you used the phrase, you said the recruiter. You felt like she was
for
looking
sure.
for someone for him.
100%, yeah.
Rose says the recruiter brought her to Epstein's townhouse, just blocks from the school.
When you first met him, what did you think? What did he say?
Very nice. Basically saying that, he's heard a lot about me. The recruiter was talking such nice things.
Rose says she was served wine in Epstein's kitchen and they talked. When she left, she says she was given $300 and was repeatedly invited back.
The secretary would contact me
and say,
are you free? Can you come by? Epstein would like to see you.
She became familiar with the eccentricities inside Epstein's home.
It was a lot of artwork that had insinuated nudity with women. And I remember
suggestive?
Very suggestive. He had a bathtub that was kind of opened, and there was prosthetic breasts that he could play with while he was taking a bath, I guess. It was very odd. And the painting that was literally right the massage table would be here, and this painting would be right here. And it was a very pretty naked woman, and he used to always say that I look like her.
She says after a few weeks of visits, she was escorted alone to what she says Epstein called his favorite room in the house, the massage room, and things turned physical.
In that moment, it didn't.
At that moment,
feel
yes.
strange to you.
But at the same time, I was scared too because I didn't know if he would get angry, so I kind of just followed. I would have just my underwear on because that's how he liked it. So, and I would just get massages back, and then he would potentially later on turn over and play with himself. And he would also like when I would play with his nipples. He used to get turned on by that, and then he would finish himself off, and then that would be the end of it. And he would still give me the 300, and normally I would either get it from the secretary, would leave it in a drawer in the massage room.
How often do you think
It was
you were there?
Yeah, once a week, twice a week, my freshman year.
Did you ever tell him your age?
I told the recruiter, I've mentioned it in front of him, yes.
You're 14 years old?
Yeah, he knew very well my age. He knew exactly, who he was hanging out with, I don't think he cared.
When Rose turned 15, she says things took a turn.
Just take your underwear off and get on top. And I said I didn't want to. And he, very forcefully kind of brought me to the table. And I just did what he told me to do. I was really scared. I didn't necessarily think that he was, going to rape me.
Did he hold you there?
Yeah.
No question in your mind. He knew you did not want that to happen.
Oh, yeah. No, he definitely, yeah. There was no way. I was I don't want to say I was screaming or anything of that nature, but I was terrified, and I was telling him to stop. Please stop,
And did he?
No, he did not stop. He had no intention of stopping, and that's what he wanted. That's what he got.
When you left there, you never went back?
After that day, no, I never went back. I was terrified. I was really scared because I didn't want that to happen again.
And you left school. Did you leave the school because it was in the same neighborhood?
Yeah, it was so close.
In your mind, did you use the word rape? Did you recognize it then
No, I
as
don't,
rape?
no, I don't think I did. I just thought, like, you know, it's my fault. Like, I was like obligated. Like, that's just what you're supposed to do. So I really did not know better.
When did you stop blaming yourself?
It was a long time, really.
Rose says Epstein's staff continued to reach out to her for more than a year, but she did not respond. She says she didn't immediately tell anyone, including the police, something she says she now regrets.
Did Jeffrey Epstein rape you?
Yeah, no, he raped me. Forcefully raped me. But knew exactly what he was doing. And I don't think cared. What hurts even more so is that if I wasn't afraid to come forward sooner, then maybe he wouldn't have done it to other girls. I feel really guilty. To this day, I feel really guilty.
Rose says she suffered from crippling anxiety, depression, and panic attacks for years until she finally confided in her mother, her then boyfriend, and 2 close friends. 3 told NBC News that she first told them about her interactions with Jeffrey Epstein a decade ago. The 4th, about 6 years ago.
Have you ever tried to reach out to prosecutors and tell this story?
No, I did not. I was just too scared. I didn't really want to go, you know, public with it.
You intend to file a lawsuit. What would you say to those who say a civil suit, lawyers, this is about getting money?
You know, he hurt me badly. I prefer not to go through this. So, you know, this is one way for me to get justice.
What does it take to find the courage to speak and tell your story?
It's a lot, even though maybe I don't look it because I'm so sad, but also happy tears because I'm able to, you know, let myself go of this burden. I feel brave. I feel strong more than ever right now.
Hey, Vaccine. Yeah, we're just going over some Epstein stuff. Frank, do you want me to play those links you sent me? I know you said one's a document, but what's the other 2?
No, the links was explaining the document, but then I found the document.
So you want me to post the document in the chat?
Get it up on screen if you want, or post it on your community wall. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Post it page on your community wall or something. I don't know.
I'm getting a
You
fucking
can
headache.
post it in your chat if you want. Yeah, I just didn't. You see, Virginia, she gives me bad vibes. Like when she talks, she's always like, I don't know, like she was having a good time. Do you know what I mean? It's like as well. The majority of what she did was she went on luxury holidays and brought back kids for Epstein. She knew what she was doing. She was an adult at the time. She should be prosecuted as well. Yes, no? Do you not agree?
Yes. You know, I agree with you.
No.
Don't get hateful. Let me tell you something. I'm trying to do something here. You know I can't multitask.
Okay.
I'm trying to do one thing, dear.
You can send that document to Squids. I don't mean now, but send it to Squids because I bet he'd like to have a read of that.
I'm going to post it on my community wall. I don't even know what it is.
I think that's like 40-something pages. So you might want to drop the link to it rather than, do you know what I mean? Is it on your community wall?
I'll do that too, maybe. I don't know. You're the one that said drop it on my community wall.
Yeah, but I meant in screenshots and then I remembered. I think it's 40-something pages or more than 5, a lot more than 5. and I'll post it in your comments after the video goes live, so people that come in later can get it.
Thank you.
The settlement, it's weird. If you read it, it's like an agreement between the two of them to protect everyone. And I'm sure this document was what screwed some victims out of their claims, as in
Squid, did you get
legal
that link?
thing.
I'm not sure he's still here. So he is. So you and Squid know more about this stuff than I do. Squid, you should start coming up with us talking about it. Socialize,
Squid,
bro.
where you've put about the money, this is what I'm saying. She basically took the whole pot. They probably got like between them, like I think they probably got about 500K. Where if you read this document, she got that
Oh,
just agreeing
shit.
to
Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
what?
I'm getting an Amber Alert. I just got an Amber Alert.
Get it up then.
I am going to get it up. My phone was going crazy. No, why is it timed out? The fuck? So everybody's probably checking it at once.
Be good. You know, you say that about him not sweating. There was, I think it was just after that interview, and they went back to the time period, and there's a picture of him in a shirt, and the shirt's just soaked in sweat. I think he's coming out of what is it? A nightclub.
Did you just get it too, Truly? The Amber Alert? Probably did. You're same area as me.
Oh no.
Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can show it here. Then I'll post it on my community wall too.
He was eating pizza.
There's the Amber Alert.
Oh, fucking hell.
Orange Park, Florida, Clay County. A child, Paradise Levy, 8 months old, female, brown hair, 2 foot tall, brown eyes, race black, weight 16 pounds. Abductor, Terry Levy, 46 years old, male, brown hair, 6 foot tall, race black, eyes brown, weight 205. Any information, call 1-888 Florida Missing, FL Missing.
Is he related to the child? Yeah, obviously, same last name.
Yeah, they got the same last, yeah.
See, in the UK, you can't kidnap your own child. They've got the same last name, Squid, so I'm guessing he's probably an inactive father. But in the UK, you can't commit kidnap on your own child.
It's the same man in the pictures. Be good. That one picture is just an additional image of him. Thank you, Truly.
His father and his buddy.
It looks like it's the same dude.
It is the same dude. It says additional photo, and then he's got the same name underneath.
It says an unknown, in an unknown vehicle with an unknown male. So that's probably his buddy. His buddy's probably driving. But I think that picture's the same dude that it's showing. These two.
It is. It's the exact same dude. He looks a lot worse off in the one picture, though.
Yeah, that red.
Mm. Turn that off. That's doing me head in.
Did it say it was his friends?
Say again?
No, I was talking to myself. We are going to talk about a secret indictment against Mr. Jeffrey. Oh, that's crazy, truly. Yeah, he might not have known. He might have thought he was able to take the baby.
The secret indictment, is that what I got you? Is that what you're on about, that document?
I don't know. No, it's not something you sent me. It might be about that. I don't know. Do you want me to show you?
Well, you're about to, ain't you? I thought you were just about to talk about.
I don't know unless. Oh, you're just assuming, truly. And they didn't really give much information about that.
Millionaire pleading not guilty to sex trafficking charges, while prosecutors say they made a disturbing discovery at his mansion. Our chief national affairs correspondent, Tom Yamas, is outside Epstein's townhouse here in New York with more. Good morning, Tom.
Robin, good morning to you. Just behind me, this is Jeffrey Epstein's Manhattan mansion. Some call it one of the most expensive homes in all of New York. Federal agents call it a crime scene. They say when they busted through those doors, what they saw inside was consistent with what the alleged victims told them, that the assaults happened inside of a massage room. This, as some very powerful people are now having to explain their relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, including President Bill Clinton, who overnight released a statement. This morning, disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein is behind bars, but fighting to get out. Prosecutors arguing the politically connected multimillionaire should not be released on bail.
When you have 2 planes and you live much of the year abroad, we think that's a very real risk.
The ultra-wealthy money manager appearing in a blue jumpsuit in federal court on Monday, pleading not guilty to charges that he trafficked dozens of underage girls at his massive Manhattan and Palm Beach mansions. Also this morning, new raid video showing federal agents as they bust open the door of his 7-story, $77 million home on Manhattan's Upper East Side. In a dramatic news conference on Monday, the U.S. attorney saying inside, investigators found hundreds, if not thousands, of female nude or partially nude photographs, some of the photos seeming to show underage girls. And inside of a locked safe, compact discs, one allegedly labeled Young Miscellaneous Nudes 1, another titled Girl Pics Nude.
The alleged behavior shocks the conscience.
According to the indictment, from 2002 to 2005, Epstein recruited girls to engage in sex acts with him, after which he would give the victims hundreds of dollars in cash, and paid some victims to recruit additional girls to be similarly abused.
When you saw him, it just brought back bad memories?
Yeah, it brought back the last time I saw him, which was right there at the massage table, and it just started making me feel uneasy, nervous.
Michelle Licata and Courtney Wild were in court to see Epstein face those charges. They both say the mega millionaire assaulted them. Wild says she was only 14 at the time.
We get to look him in the face today and see him, in handcuffs. It was just nice to be able to share it with somebody, look at you and say, okay, today's our day.
We were with her exclusively as she headed to court.
Just to hear that they're standing up for the victims, you know what I mean? It's just so overwhelmingly, it's past due.
But both women fear Epstein, who pleaded not guilty, could beat this case. He's 66 years old, owns at least 6 homes and 2 private islands. In the past, he socialized with Prince Andrew and President Bill Clinton and Donald Trump. In a 2002 profile in New York Magazine, before any allegations surfaced, Trump called Epstein a, quote, terrific guy, adding, he's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. In 2007, Epstein faced a potential federal indictment in Florida on similar charges. He struck a secret plea deal, serving just 13 months in county jail and registering as a sex offender. The U.S. attorney who authorized that deal, Alexandra Acosta, now the Secretary of Labor. Now, as we mentioned earlier, President Bill Clinton released a statement overnight his office. We want to show you that statement right now. His office says in part, President Clinton knows nothing about the terrible crimes Jeffrey Epstein pleaded guilty to in Florida some years ago, or those which he has been recently charged with in New York. In 2002 and 2003, President Clinton took a total of 4 trips on Jeffrey Epstein's airplane. Now, we should also mention this morning that Speaker Nancy Pelosi is now calling on Secretary Acosta to resign. George?
Okay, Tom, thanks very much. A lot to dig into here. Let's bring in our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams, for more on this. Let's begin with the argument we're going to hear from Epstein and his lawyers. They reached an agreement.
Be Good? No, I haven't seen that. That's interesting. I liked when we had Bill Clinton as our president.
President. Hello?
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 Hello? All right, be good. All right, I want to finish playing this. Okay?
Yeah.
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 Back in 2008, this is a do-over.
Right. They basically had a deal, what's called a non-prosecution agreement from the federal government. And they're going to say, wait a sec, what happened to that deal that we had? Now, the Southern District of New York's position is that was a deal with the prosecutors in Florida. We are not bound by that deal. And part 2 to that is that deal is also being litigated right now, meaning a judge is deciding whether to throw that deal out entirely because there was a violation of the law by prosecutors in Florida when they didn't inform the victims of what was happening. And so the question now becomes, should the remedy for that be that that entire non-prosecution agreement gets thrown out?
And the Justice Department oversees both the district in New York and the district in Florida. The Attorney General, William Barr, has recused himself.
Right. He has said because he worked a law firm that at one time represented Epstein, he's not going to be involved. And that is relevant only because you have this issue with these different districts, which makes it interesting because the person in charge then becomes that much more important.
One of the big questions here is new evidence developed in part by what they've been taking from the mansion of Jeffrey Epstein here in New York?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if they found more pictures with children, if they found more evidence, that could be additional charges. We're not talking about just additional evidence in connection with this case. That could be more charges against Jeffrey Epstein. And remember, we talked about this before. The Public Corruption Unit of the Southern District of New York is investigating.
One of the big questions, will he get bail?
And I think the answer is maybe. Bail is, you presume someone gets bail. Don't forget about that. The presumption is someone gets bail. But because A, he's got all this money, all these planes, these private islands, and has been accused of witness tampering in the past, those are very strong arguments against bail.
Okay, Dan, thanks. Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage,
Right, truly. What president didn't get blowjobs?
Oh,
Clinton just got busted. Monica Lewinsky did.
Biden, he don't get blowjobs, he gets ice creams. They come in and say, President Biden, ice cream.
Wasn't it Monica Lewinsky?
That dress with the stain on it is in a museum, mate. I was watching something on. Yeah, there was showing how she got dragged through. You Americans know.
Come on, Mr. Nice Guy.
It's what she got. Her career was ended basically because she was caught giving him a tuggy with her mouth.
A tuggy.
Yeah.
Damn Brits. Bloody bastards.
A mouth tuggy.
You like tuggies. No comment? Oh, yeah, I'm going to go watch some of that stuff. Yeah, I'm going to have to end this. My head's starting to really fucking hurt. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's this damn computer. I've been sitting here too long.
You need to get yourself some glasses for your computer.
I have glasses.
No, I mean ones so when you're watching your computer, the screen it dims the screen. No. I've got to dim my screen actually. Been looking at it for hours, watching orcas.
Orca Willies.
No, not Orca
Frank
Willis.
Frank wants a tuggy from an orca.
I wouldn't say no, but
Be like that homeless man.
oh, poor guy. That was in Florida. That was. I'm surprised you've never heard of that.
No, I'm not from
Like,
here. I've not lived here my whole life, Frank. You have
yeah, but
blue
it was like
lens,
talking.
the blue light lens.
Remember when that guy tried to stick his willy in the orca? Silicon the orca.
Yeah, we'll be back
He
live
had to,
tomorrow. I have
he
to
had to
get up
pick the
early in
biggest.
the morning. All right, I'm getting off here. Thank you all. Love y'all. Yeah, I just started getting my fucking headache, and I know what it is. All right, bye, y'all.
Right.
Adios.